afternoon. It is Thursday, February 4th. Almost forgot what day it was. I don't know how I could forget that. But I feel like Wednesday, where did Wednesday go? It just simply disappeared, right? It was a crazy, crazy busy day for me. And let me just share this out and about with everyone. All right, let's share on this. I just figured out a super easy way to make it happen very easily. Done. And done. All right. So we are live. I see a couple of you. Hey, Bad Scientist, first today. Nice job. I saw that. And we've got Asif. Thank you, Asif. I haven't really done anything different. It's just washing out just a little bit with the color. All right, let's check out the list today. We see the SPY is hitting new highs. I called it out yesterday, right? 391.60. That's going to be my target for the SPY. And when we're looking at the chart today, whoops, I do offer this. If you check out Ticker Talker, you'll be able to subscribe there as well as my website, cjandtrade.com. On Ticker Talker, I do send out alerts for the top 7 right here. Hold on 2 seconds. I just had the doorbell ring. Let me see if I can see what it is. Always good to know what's going on. That's why we have a doorbell camera. So I might have to run down and check it out. Let me see. Any event, while that's loading, you can see the SPY really rocking to new highs right now. Absolutely amazing. Watching for that 385 test as well. Q still has a bit of a ways to go, but we are up above bullish just barely today. All right, looks like it was a package, so I'm good. All right, I'll just pick it up later. Awesome. Now, we are above the volume weighted average price. Let's put this on the 45-minute chart over here. From yesterday, you can see it right here, this red volume weighted average price. Oh, you just subscribed to Trade Ideas? To Trade Ideas, the actual platform, or My Trade Ideas, Pauline? Then we also have IWM up as well. Pretty much all of the indexes are up. Not anything shabby to be upset about. Amazon, we will check out Amazon. Sure, Roger. So look at that, IWM. Hey, what did I tell you guys yesterday? I said, let's look at 221 as the target, right up here to that midline. Man, I wish I bought calls at the end of the day. Sometimes my calls, I tell you, I put them out there and they happen and I don't even capitalize on them. There's so many opportunities in the market. And it's really super technical. That's what I absolutely love about the market, is its technical analysis and targets unemotionless, right? IWM as well coming on up. Are we going to break to new highs? We definitely could. Now, on a lot of these, we are overextended. We've had 4 days to the upside. Volume is descending, so we might see a bit of a correction. So in my opinion, I would likely take a little bit of profit off, not everything, but I do like to scale personally. So I would check that out. All right, XLF has had big volume today as well. Let's check out the chart. So we are overextended again. We have pulled back, came up. We're testing a resistance point, has had a bit higher volume up here, hitting this pivot, right? So keeping that on watch. Is this going to close above 3080, or is this going to be up? Another area when we look at it on the daily chart, right? Once you see this, hey, look at this, right? We had this area right here, 3080. Oh, we used it as a bit as a support. Support came up, support, and then it dropped down. Steve, we'll check out gold. Thank you so much. And are we going to close above 3080, or will this be a reversal point and we're going to retrace back down here, back down roughly to 3080? Excuse me, 3020. I haven't had lunch yet. You can tell when I've had my lunch, right? I'm a little bit more with it because my brain has some extra blood sugar flowing to it. I'm a little bit more on the ball. Awesome. Same thing with BAC. Now, personally, I did buy some BAC puts going out for next Friday. And I bought super, super cheap ones. I bought them all the way down here, using them as an instrument to trade. Do I think that we might potentially come back down? It's a possibility, right? Definitely, this chart looks very, very similar to XLF. So I am in the 30 puts for next Friday. Super, super cheap. Very easy to make 100% on those. Steve, why do I prefer buying puts than shares? I like to buy puts more than shares because your risk as a short is infinite. If it goes up, much like GameStop, if you see that, that's the reason why I like puts more than the actual physical stock. Less risk involved, as long as it's liquid. You know, I'm not going to do it on every single stock. I'm going to check out the options pricing. Lizzie, yeah, we'll check it out. World Becomes Crazy. We'll check that out. So when we're looking at it, I look at it at a risk management point. If you were in GameStop and you had shares that you shorted at $20 and then go up to $450, well, say you had 1,000 shares, right? Now you owe $230,000. If you had bought some puts that cost, say you had 5 contracts, they cost $2 each, so your actual cost of getting into the trade is $1,000. What have you lost? $1,000. You do not end up owing the brokerage $200,000 or more. That is the reason why I like puts instead of shares. Is because of the risk management side of it. No Wall Street stockbroker notes. I'm talking about just saying puts in general as far as risk management as opposed to shares. Yeah, and Bad Scientist is right. Yes, there aren't always shares available, but short put options tend to be available. Not always at the same time, depending on the strike price. Yes, I will check it out. World Becomes Crazy. It's okay. All right, so I'm going to add over here Amazon and Lizzie as well. Your broker doesn't allow retail traders to get infinite loss. Well, that's nice, Steve. That's nice to hear that you might actually have a respectful broker. In the States, most of them are not like that. All right, let's head down and look at the big ones, right? Let's check out Amazon. We have, who brought up Amazon today? Roger. So Roger, Amazon, I mentioned this before. I like it up to 4,400 as long as it can clear 3,500. Right now we're coming back down to yesterday's close, came down, it bounced, volume is dropping. We are below the moving averages. So until we start to have higher volume, we also have this random weird little price action right here. It came to the upside. Maybe we're coming back down to 32.51. I would look for that as a target right there. All right. Let's check on Apple. Apple and Microsoft are likely moving to the upside a bit today because the market overall is moving to the upside. We do have some anchored volume weighted average prices to contend with. I would look for watching for this to break above 137.30 for me to be really bullish on Apple. Or I could get into it and use risk down to 134.50. If it broke back down below 134.50, that would be my get out point. Yeah. All right. Hold on. I will add Macy's onto the list right here. Hold on one second. Let me see. All right, just had a quick call. I'm going to have to call somebody back. All right, so with Microsoft as well, I like this up to 260 as long as we can stay above 239.60. Right? I like this the longer term all the way up. I think that this could have a really nice move to the upside to it. Also, PayPal was on my list for potential breakouts. You guys can see I've got my fibs on here. So looking for this Potentially retracement, maybe back down to 254 and then moving on up. eBay as well. I think I still have my fibs on here. Yeah. All right. So as long as we're able to stay above this high of 61.50, we'll look at it. I've got QCOM over here. Right now, QCOM is pulling back, so we'll watch that and see. So as long as we stay above 61.50, I like eBay actually all the way up to roughly 73.50. So I'm liking this long-term, bigger volume, coming back to the moving averages. Could see this run up higher. We might even see this move above 64 end of day. It seems to have bottomed out roughly about 60.80 right here. So keeping that on watch. Billy as well. These are a lot of the earnings trades today. Had a nice move back down from the, why aren't they over here? Anyway, move back down from the gap up, and earnings is coming up. So keeping this one on watch. Are we going to close the gap completely? We still have $6.92. Or is this going to be where we find support and we curl up to the upside? We are below the moving averages on the 45-minute chart, so still looking for this to drop down a bit further. Then we have APPS. So APPS, amazing trade above 76 today. Was not able to capitalize on this one. I was watching eBay and also was teaching this morning, talking about trading the news or not. Also, if you guys missed it, I did do the live YouTube stream last night. I think I had an error and I didn't open up unfortunately, the webinar properly. My error, 100%. But I'm going to give you guys the link for that now during the chat, so that if you missed it last night, you can check that out. All about flow trade. It was awesome and some really good questions. So check that video out right there for the flow trade demo that we did last night. And next one on the list that we had from there was Mankind. So Mankind had the potential to squeeze up higher, but no, it retraced and pulled back down. Now you see we are hitting the 50 simple moving average on the 45-minute chart, potentially a nice bounce area. Oh, Roger, I teach in the training pit at thedarkpools.com. It's down below in the comment section if you check down there. I teach twice a week. It is a great trading room. We have 2 webinars every trading day, so you get 10 webinars every week, 4 weeks in the month, so you're getting over 40 webinars and access to a trading room and learning all about the dark pool as well. All right, AAL, potential here for this to move higher or lower, just sort of creeping around. It had a crazy spike up day right here, massive volume pulling back. Is this going to break back up above? They are announcing further layoffs for the airlines come March. So they're not having the layoffs just yet. However, that could affect their bottom line numbers when this stimulus package does run out, unless there is a new one that is decided upon. Trying to find out something for my wife. I'll check it out. Awesome. Sounds good, Roger. You guys can always email me too at jane@cjanetrade. So if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to also email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. And my levels for Tilray today, 25 and 26.50. World become crazy. As a trader, you should know that you do need to have a little bit of patience. I'm going to get to it once I get through my list, all right? So no worries, we will get there. Just have a little bit of patience. I know it might be hard, but it's amazing when you have that in trading. All right. So Tilray was on my short list today, did offer short opportunity back down here. We had a high volume doji yesterday. If we close below this 425 EMA on the 24, so if we close below 24, I would look for this to roll back down the hill, potentially come down to 1810, 1820 area, maybe have a dead cat bounce, and then further down to roughly $10 down here to this lower angle of support trend line right there. Bingo as well was also on my list for potential short. Did offer nice trade down from 11.59, 50-cent trade down to the downside. Also QCOM as well today. So Karamove, you are curious about QCOM. How high will it go? Well, here's the thing. With earnings, a lot of times the first day, hey, first day we set this area up here. Well, we drop down, boom, coming down another sort of stair step down. I would look for the third day after earnings for likely a bottom to be set. Right now it's testing this breakdown area. I said, hey, if it drops below 148.80, potential move to the downside. Sure enough, we had $3 move to the downside. Check out ACB as well. ACB, much like Tilray, did pull back on the day and is bouncing higher. Then we have Lizzie. I told you I'd get to it. World becomes crazy. So Lizzie right here. So Lizzie, likely a low float. Let's check it out. And 33 million in the float. This is having a parabolic move. So I would keep it on watch because as quickly as this goes up, these can move to the downside, right? So let's put this here. If we were to do it like this, here is the parabolic move, right? Is this extended? Could it easily come back down $5? It could, like that. So I would be extra cautious with this. In fact, a 5-minute chart is going to be too wide. A 2-minute chart is going to be something better to look at. Hey, we have a high, a lower high, a support area. If it breaks below 14.50, I would watch for $13 fairly quickly. I'd watch for it to come back down to $13 or $13.50 over here. So being a lower float stock, this could drop very, very quickly if the sellers start taking over. So I would keep that in mind. Also, it could squeeze very quickly. Every time that it broke out, right? Here, it was a new high. When it broke out, went from 14 up to 16 fairly quickly. Seems as if there was higher sellers there. Also, watch the volume at the bottom. There's higher volume right up there at the top. Where did the volume come in? Right here. Maybe this is going to be a shoulder. Maybe it will find support at 14. If not, it might pull all the way back down here, 13.36, about to 14, create that right shoulder, and then drop down even further, another $3 down, which would put you roughly at that $9 mark down here. So keep it on watch. It's all mathematical. A lot of it is watching the price action, watching the chart patterns, and simply following through. Do you guys, Macy's, you want to check out Macy's? I forgot to put it on the list, but here we go. So Macy's does seem, let's look at it on a 5-minute chart over here. Yeah, does that help you? World become crazy? Right now, it looks like the momentum's potentially slowed down on that one. I'm not saying it definitely has. To me, I wouldn't be interested in getting in long at this moment. All right, so Macy's. Right now, that $15 mark looks like it's really strong. We had a little quick run up above, and what happened over here? Well, this looks like maybe we have a shoulder ahead. If it's not able to break above 15.20, I would watch for the support at 15 for it to break down further, 60 cents back to the downside, down to 14.35. So we might end up closing down here at 14.35 today on Macy's. That's going to be one, an interesting one to watch. It could be curling back up, but we did break out here. It needs to close above 15 for it to really move to the upside. All right. Do you guys have any other stocks that you would like to check out? Oh, Blink. I've got Blink up there. I see that from Freshest in Class. Is that like Fresh Prince? Freshest in Class? All right. So Blink on the 24-hour chart over here. This looks like we are coming up. Bad Scientists, you definitely need to check out Quanta. I'm telling you. All right. It's low float, 33 million. Trust me. No. Don't trust me. Make your own assessment. That's better. All right. So we have this upward trend line. It pulled back, came up. We're testing it. Looks as if this might be setting up to break down to the downward side right here, simply because of this trend line. If we readjust this and we do this, why is it drawing it weird? Hold on. Why is it making it so that I have to go left? Let's see, settings here. Well, I'll leave it on like this. All right. Even if I adjust it to this low, to the new low lows right here, it's battling between these two. It's kind of like a little megaphone. So it would need to break out up above here. More importantly, I would watch for it to break up above the $55 mark or below. Oops, undo that. Or below over here. I would look for it to break below. I like this area right here, 48. So above 55 or 48 for the next big move on Blink right now. It looks like it's just sort of consolidating at the moment. All right, let's check out RKT. Yeah, they're closing some stores for sure. It's not the first time for them. All right, so Rockets on the 24-hour chart. See over here, a little bit of resistance. You see that it broke the support right here, right? It was a resistance, now it's support, all right, over here. So I'd watch, hey, are we going to break down below 2130 over here? Had massive volume up here on the top, so we want to watch that candlestick. Second time it tested, more volume came in. It doesn't look like it wants to break above 2225. If it breaks above 2225, I would personally say, hey, maybe this is going to be hitting new highs if this breaks above 22.25. There's always the if, right? So you have to be patient with the trade. Let's check out HIPH. Yeah, my pleasure. Oh, penny stock, like super penny stock. Who's trading water? Didn't somebody mention this before? So this looks like it's low float, parabolic, and as long as it's following this trend line to the upside right now on the 5-minute chart, it's good. It's a little extended away right now, likely would come back down here. If it starts to break down, keep an eye on it. Just watch the trend lines. Don't overthink it. That's the best thing I can say about trading. Don't overthink it. If it breaks, all right, it broke. Why would you stay in it? Especially if you got in down here. Take some profit. Hey, if it comes down to this level and it doesn't bounce, get out, in my opinion. Follow it unemotionally. I know it's more difficult when there's money attached to it, but you need to follow it unemotionally. All right, you guys wanted to see gold and silver. Dave, I do not. I set alerts on my chart and I go from there. Let's look at, we have the shovel to Visa. Okay, Steve's talking about gold. So let's go back to gold. I knew that I missed gold up there. So gold is definitely pulled back today. And when we look at it on the bigger picture, let's look at it on a weekly chart over here. I was doing some assessment of my charts last night. So we still have not hit the low back here of 166.68. In fact, this is just a little bit higher, but we definitely have bigger volume that came into it, right? So I'm still overall, right? We had a bit of an upward trend and now that has broken. So we can get rid of, how far back does this one go? All right, that's from the lows there. This is, we're going to do this. I'm going to flip this right here. Nope, I don't want that. Nope, undo that. I want this. Oh, I don't know what I did. Nope, undo. Undo that. Ringing lots of bells over here, huh? How about if I go here? Let's go to settings. That's not the one I want. This one is the one I want. Let's put it just at 171. I'll make my life easier. Not 11. All right, there we go. Oh, yay. Really? Sorry, guys. Patience with me. Patience today. There. That's what I'm looking at. All right. So right now, it's not looking too pretty. Let's draw another one right here. Let's see. We're down below that one. All right. We're not keeping that one. obviously down below there. All right, here's another thought. Down below there, okay, no worries. How about if we draw this line here, down below there? Looks as if it's bearish at the moment. So looking bearish on gold, but I like the fact that it's held over here. We definitely have a bearish engulfing. Of course, the end of the week is going to play out a lot. They could be bringing it down and then just scream it higher too. I do like gold and silver long term. Oh, thank you, Randy. And also silver as well. Let's check out silver. Silver has pulled back from where we were, but look at this. It's still in the upward trend. Let's look at the silver futures, and we're also going to check out the gold futures as well so that we can make an assessment as well in the futures. So I was looking at this last night and I thought, yeah, you know what? We are in this upward trend. We started recreating this upward trend. Originally I had it as a downward trend, as a handle. But I thought, you know what? We've actually broken out and we've been riding to the upward side since September. Interesting. And let's check out gold, the gold futures as well. I don't know if I drew one on the gold. No, gold is still looking fairly bearish right here. And we have this one down here. We've definitely broken that one. If I draw one here, let's see. Sometimes I wouldn't normally do this, but to see where that ends up. Are we going to break above 1794 right there on the weekly chart? If we close back above here, this was a resistance. And now it was an area that was broken, tested as resistance, flipped to be support. Are we going to hold this as support? Will this be an awkward head and shoulders on an angle and it will continue to the downside? Or are we going to close this week up above over here? So if we look at it now in the 24-hour chart, where are we? Right there. We've definitely dropped below. Would watch to see if this bounces up. We're in the downward trend. It keeps testing as if it wants to break out into a cup and handle, like a massive move to the upside, but it's not there just yet. Yeah, I'll add solo aloe. And for everybody that's watching, if you like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so that YouTube will share it with more people. All right, so we are hitting the 50 simple moving average on the 24-hour chart. The volume is not super high, but if I'd gotten in down here, I would have looked for that as a target and then maybe a bounce back and then a move to the upside, Roger. So that's what I'm seeing on this. It would not be abnormal for there to be some profit taking pulling back. Much like with Bank of America and XLF, they're really extended. They could easily come back and then shoot up again, in my opinion. So you see it's a fairly similar chart when we look to Visa as well and XLF. Let's check out JP Morgan too. Let's see if all the financials are pretty much looking the same. Yeah, they're all sort of up and then they're trading just sideways, the big gap up. And let's check out, we looked at Visa, let's look at JP Morgan, let's check out Wells Fargo. Did I hit JOM? Silly. JP Morgan, fairly similar chart. Wells Fargo, fairly similar chart. Citigroup, fairly similar chart. Citigroup actually looks like the weakest so far. So Citigroup looks like that might be primed for breaking down further. It's not that far away. Oh, it's 80 cents away from the open. So looking at that. All right, Quanta. Yeah, let's look at Quanta today. This is my little COVID trader that does have very low volume today. It does have 33 million in it, and potential for this one with COVID vaccine, not COVID vaccine, but a COVID health remedy from scorpions to help people cure their own COVID within about 5 days. So that's pretty cool. Using natural. I like using natural methods, and maybe bat scientists, you can look more into the chemical composition of how it functions. All I know is what I've read. That's it. So this is more of like this is a swing long-term holding, willing to buy a couple thousand shares and then see where it goes. When we look back at the weekly chart, this one has had crazy moves in the past because it is a lower float. And if that little, what's it called? If the new COVID thing is really working amazingly and it were to go around the world and people were to buy it and then they announce it, then this might go back up again. This is just a speculative, not like put all your money on this, right? I'm putting literally like nothing, not much at all. But it could have one of those parabolic moves like AMC. That's all, because it's lower float. All right, let's look at ACTC for Marlin. All right, so ACTC, let's put it on the 24-hour over here. We're on the 5-minute. It looks bearish on the 5-minute chart. Here we are still in the upward trend. It is setting lower highs, right? You see this where we're setting lower highs. Why is that not drawing on the other chart? Very weird. Huh. Oh, there we go. It's up higher. And right now we're just, it might come back down to 24.20. An extreme move right there. And we are below that. Today or yesterday, it started breaking down below it. So looks as if it had some buying that came in, roughly 24.30. Fairly big volume for it. I don't know what the daily volume on average is, 2.2 million. So it's traded half of the float or half of the average volume so far. However, they might come and try to fill the gap again or do a gap fill trade and then bring it down all the way back down to 1560. So that's what I would be looking at for ACTC. All right, we went through ACTC, Visa, and I'm just going in order. Solo. Dustin, are you talking about ZM for Zoom or a different company? Because there are two companies. There's like Zoom Entertainment or something, and then there's Zoom. Solo, I see a bit more of a wedge right here, right? So measure 920 to down here 713. If it breaks out up above, that's $2.20. So I'd watch this maybe up for 1075, 1060 right there. Did you go over GME? No, I did not go over it yet, Molly. Thanks for the reminder. So let's check over GameStop. ZOM. Okay, we'll check it out. So GameStop has on the 24-hour chart, there was a lower angle, of trend right here. Let's do this. Let's bring this up. Here, let's bring this up. This still has had crazy volume. So if we bring it down, hey, it tested this from above, and now it's continuing to come down. Now, right now, 62.40 looks as if it's support. Let me go over here to Flow Trade, see if we have any prints on it. Since we had the crazy big ones, let's see if there's been any big buying. We have had prints today, 141,000 at 91.10. So that was right at open. And let's see if we had any other ones that are smaller on GameStop today. Right now, just a small one, it's $78. So we're below that. So maybe they covered part of their position at $78 if that was all shorting earlier right at open. So right now it looks as if it's in that bearish trend coming back down. We had higher volume here. We are below this volume. So it looks as if it's selling volume. When we look at the short sale volume overall, let's check it out. We have been above 50% for the past couple days. We have been dropping down. So how many shares are still being held short? Is this the really big hedge fund guys that are shorting this again? Is it going to bounce at the $40 mark? There's a potential for that to happen. We had 53%, so we're at roughly 52% for the past week on GameStop overall that it is short. So keep that on watch. I mean, this has had squeeze potential in the past. It could again. If everybody rallied behind it, the big guys are thinking, yes, we are all safe. And then all of a sudden, Wall Street bets come out and said, all right, let's do it a second time, right? Then that could end up with it making a second massive crazy run to the upside. All right, I ran off of the chat box. Riots. Yeah, let's do ZOM. ZOM, Zoometica. All right, so this one looks as if it's breaking out to a new technical high over here, 146. I like to always check that float. 793 million. It is a penny stock, not one that I would personally really be trading. I know I'm trading Quanta, which is like just underneath. So this, let's look at an all-time. But in the end, the hedge fund guy won with the help of Robinhood. Yeah. So this has broken out above a former high over here, 112. This is 50 months that it's been in existence, right? So I would look for resistance roughly 161, backing it all the way out, 160 area. If it breaks 140, would watch for it to move up to 160, and then 180 would probably offer further resistance from there. All right. Thanks, Marlon. Thanks for the compliments. And if you guys like it, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you want to buy me a coffee, as a mom of two, I always love coffee. The link is down below for buying me a coffee as a contribution for everything that I'm sharing with you guys. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. Oh, we didn't go over Riot. So we will go over Riot for freshest in class, and then we will wrap it up. So Riot today, let's put this on a 24-hour chart over here. And pretty much Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, they're all in somewhat of that upward motion. We had a bit of a corrective wave to the downside, and this could continue to move up a little further. So watching them all to see, hey, Bitcoin could move up, gold, everything. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you for your contribution. I appreciate that. Everybody, give a round of applause for Dustin for contributing. Thank you. I appreciate that. So with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all of the cryptos, that they could really continue and move up to new highs coming up. We would obviously need to break former highs. And so I would also watch on ETHE as well. ETHE is pulling back just a little bit. Remember that this one sometimes trades to a premium to Ethereum, and GBTC as another one in relation to Bitcoin. You can see they all somewhat have that same chart pattern. So they could be surging higher in the future. I would use for GBTC the risk down to 34.88 personally. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you all at 12:15. I do have a video coming up tonight. I was going to put it up last night. Crazy busy night with the girls. So it's coming up tonight, all about scammers. So check it out. See you all later. Have an amazing day, and Carpe Profit. Seize those profits one trade at a time.